Hello, everyone. How you doing? God bless you guys. Well, as you can see by my title, um, this is the Outlet Podcast. I'm the host of the Outlet Podcast. My name is Gazy. Uh, I'm the electrician of the podcast. Well, sorry for my appearance. It's just apart from being a podcaster, I'm a landscaper. I own my own landscaping business, so I have to deal with getting dirty. So, the title of my next podcast is Sanctity of Marriage, and I wanted to post about it, maybe give a foreword about my opinion, and I'm hoping to actually get a few newlyweds and maybe some those who have been married for a little while to get a lot of opinions about it, because the term sanctity of marriage has been used a whole lot, and I don't like the fact that it's a joke. I've been married for the past 2 years now, and it's a lovely marriage. I love my wife. I love that she tolerates me and stuff, and I love it. You know, and I'm wondering, why is it considered a joke? Um, I I there's a lot of things, a lot of questions I want to ask. You know, who are these people that are getting married and divorcing so much? Were they ever prepared for marriage in the first place? Um, there's a lot that goes into the idea of the sanctity of marriage. Uh, I I believe the idea that people have, the false idea that people have about marriage, is that once you're married, you're safe. And that's not true. And it's possible that another idea is that once you're married, uh, like, you're not tempted anymore. Well, that's a lie too. Or that once you get married, you don't need to work on anything because you found your wife or you found your husband and it's done, perfect. Because those are all lies. And I'm like, as a 28-year-old, I'm just so surprised. I'm just so surprised about a lot of people's opinions on marriage. Like, why is there such a negative view? I mean, it baffles me. So there's a lot of questions I'm gonna write down and meditate upon. I want to have some young couples. I want to talk to some young couples on my podcast and get their opinions also. And I want to know what you guys are thinking. So I wanted to put out this foreword. Let me know what you think about marriage, the sanctity of marriage. That phrase, what does it mean to you? I hate to think that people consider the sanctity of marriage a passe ideology. Because marriage is unbelievably wonderful, and it's something that it's innate. For some reason, people want to get married. Even people who have been divorced 4 times, they still want to get married. And I'm wondering, what is it about marriage? Why are people so, what do they think it's going to do? There's a whole bunch of questions. Specifically, everyone, sorry about the movement. Specifically, I want to talk about this guy. He's a theologian. He's the son of a theologian also. His name is R.C. Sproul Jr. And, well, R.C. Sproul Jr., he's the head of his father's ministry. It's called Ligonier Ministries, located here in Orlando, Florida. Well, his name came up on Ashley Madison. And here's the thing. His name came up on Ashley Madison, but he never he never had sex with anyone, and he never met anyone. So, and he's a pastor, and he's also the president. He's a theologian and president of this association, this seminary in Orlando, Florida. And it was interesting because he said once he got to the website, he used an old email address. He didn't use his current one. He used an old one. But after, like, I guess he put his email, but he never followed through with the subscription process. And and check this out. The reason why he didn't follow through was because his wife, who had battled cancer, she passed away. So she wasn't alive. But he still had a fear within him. And he quickly stopped the subscription service, and it came about that he ended up having his name on the list of Ashley Madison. So he confessed to the board members of the ministry, and they put him on a leave until next year. He's not going to be presiding over the ministry, and also his presidency, well, his ministry, he might have a leave of absence during his ministry. And I was so encouraged because I'm not gonna say why. How about that? I'm not gonna tell you why this made me happy. Because I want to know what you think. So, I'm the host of the Outlet Podcast. This will be one of the topics that we're going to talk about on the podcast. You can find the podcast on Stitcher Radio, on iTunes, and on Soundcloud. All you got to do is look up Outlet Podcast. And there you can subscribe to the RSS feed, and I'd love to have you listening to my show. I have an inspirational entertainment podcast. I'm a born-again Christian, but, I'm just a human being. I'm having fun. I do have my opinion, but I like to inspire and let people know that Jesus loves them, and it's not just a phrase. There's a lot that goes to that. And I like to explain why Jesus loves you, why you're not alone, why you might be bound to certain sins in your life, and it's not necessarily you. It's your flesh. It's your body. It's the desire. And you can get over those addictions. You can conquer them. You can do all things through Christ, who strengthens you. See, that's some of the stuff I like to talk about on my podcast. I also talk about comic books. I'm a huge nerd. Hold on, look at this. I just ended up purchasing Phantom Pain, baby. This is one of the things I do on my podcast is that I talk about games also. So I'm gonna be talking about Phantom Pain. I'm a huge Metal Gear fan, so this is gonna break my heart that Metal Gear is over. I'm so sad. But okay, so you can find me on SoundCloud, on iTunes, and on Stitcher Radio. Look for me on Facebook.com/Outlet Podcast. You can also find me on YouTube. I'm working on getting a camera, a nice camera, so I can start doing vlogs. So I'm entertained and I'm inspired, encouraged about that. And so you can find me on Periscope here. Also, subscribe to this Outlet Podcast, and I'll be doing little things like this. On my SoundCloud, I have been doing some acoustic covers, so that's in my acoustic sessions. I do one of the songs I did was Paramore, Misery Business, so I had a lot of fun doing acoustic cover of that. And I guess that's it, you guys. I'm gonna turn my camera around, see if how many people were watching, comments. I'm gonna check those out. That'll be fun to read. So let me know what you think about the Sanctity of Marriage. Post your opinion on the Facebook wall, Outlet Podcast on Facebook, or you can send me messages on Twitter at Outlet Podcast. Let me know what you think about the Sanctity of Marriage. That's awesome. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. it's 100 degrees over here in sunny Central Florida. So I really hope that you're having a better day instead of myself. Right now, I'm about to go home, give my wife a big hug and kiss, and finish off my iced coffee. So, love you guys. Take care. Bye.